Hey guys, I'm Tim. Welcome to the MrMaple Show.
And I'm Brian, and today we got another amazing video for you guys. We really enjoy putting all this content out. You guys join every morning. I love getting into live chat too and chatting with all of you guys. It's so much fun to see such a community that we built. There's so many people out there just absolutely love Japanese maples, right?
And it takes a lot of work to put out this daily content.
Yeah.
We've got Brian, we've got Corbin, and we've got Sean working on podcasts almost nonstop to bring you cool content on Japanese maples and gardening every single day. I mean, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Matt and I are constantly just shooting videos. We've got a full staff who are just working on shipping and getting a lot of that other stuff out. But I mean, this Japanese maple content, I mean, I live for this stuff. I mean, I love talking to people about Japanese maples, and I know you do too. I mean, this is one of our favorite things to do.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it was about a year ago that we decided we were going to do a video every single day, right? And we've actually been able to accomplish that. We just had kind of our year mark where we had content every single day. I think we've hit like 2 million views, which is insane. Thanks everybody for all of that support out there. I mean, we've got a great channel that's growing and growing and just providing information on Japanese maples, kind of having that conversation. I love that. I know you do too.
So if you love Japanese maples, you better check out us at MrMaple.com. We love Japanese maples too, and it shows through our website. We put out daily content, obviously, but we also release 10 new trees on our website every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as a mail-ordered, primarily Japanese maple nursery. We put out a lot of really cool trees on our website, so you can mail order them directly to your home. They ship directly to your door. You know, what better way to share gardening than being able to promote all these cool Japanese maples and get what we love out there to people's gardens.
Absolutely. And today, our video today is on Acer palmatum winter orange, and this tree is absolutely amazing. Some of the most amazing orange colors I think I've ever seen on the coral bark varieties.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when it comes to a coral bark Japanese maple, the coral bark is the predominant color that people see out in the landscape whenever it comes to those selections.
Yeah.
But winter orange, this gives you that same bark winter interest, but with that bright orange color. And it's an intense orange.
Yeah,
I mean,
very much.
As you can see right now, we're here in Western North Carolina, and this is February. And you see this bark color just outstanding. I mean, this is an amazing tree to put out in our landscape and give good winter interest out there in the landscape and garden.
Yeah, I always get excited when we're talking about a tree that I've grown in my gardens. This was one that I got in Oklahoma when I had my garden there. And it was a great performer for me. Very vigorous grower as well.
I mean, this is just a cool tree out in the landscape and garden. It was fairly heat tolerant for you in Oklahoma.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, just the contrast when it first leaves out with those nice lush green leaves against that orange bark, it's just really nice. It also gets a little bit of a kind of a reddish orange tinge on the edges of the leaves too when it first leaves out. Just some really great color changes on that. And then you get those bold yellows and oranges in the fall, which just light this thing up. It's amazing.
It really does. Now, during those fall when it's that yellow intense, and you're starting to get a little bit of orange starting to come into the bark as that winter approaches. See, a lot of these coral bark types, as the winter approaches, they get more and more intense on their bark color. And they're super intense when there's no leaves on the plant. And then as that leaf starts coming back out on the plant, they lose their intensity during the late spring, early summer, early fall. But that's one thing that peaks the color on this is that temperature change getting colder. The other thing is sunlight. I mean, if you give these coral bark selections more sunlight, it's going to really peak up the bark color on these selections. I've been told that you can actually affect the pH by giving them acidic fertilizers or giving them more alkaline to peak the bark interest. And it's different for certain varieties. Japanese maples may be more acidic.
Yeah.
And some of the snakebark maples that have that winter interest,
right.
You know, you can use some, make them a little more alkaline from what I've heard. That's all rumors, of course. But this is such a cool plant out there in the landscape or garden that gives you that bold orange color during the winter.
Yeah, one way you can also accentuate that bold color is to plant some evergreen conifers behind it. You know, that's what I did in Oklahoma. I planted it right in front of a big eastern red cedar, and this thing just lit up, even, you know, no matter what time of the year it was, just that dark green contrast behind it. In the winter months, you had this beautiful orange bark. And then even in spring and summer and fall, you had that nice contrast out there. I think it's a great way, and it's a great specimen tree. I mean, it makes a nice tree out there in the landscape.
And these are 1 gallon sizes right now in February of 2022.
Awesome sizes.
If you're looking at this at a later time or an earlier time, they might not be as big as these large 1 gallons. We often indicate on our website whether it's a large 1 gallon, which would be a size like this, or a 1 gallon, which would be a much smaller, still a really good sized tree.
Yeah.
But I mean, these, when they're a large 1 gallon, it's often the size we'd take and pot into a 3 gallon. And so just a heads up on the website, there's a difference between a large 1 gallon and a 1 gallon. But I like taking winter orange out there and pairing it with something like Aoyagi or something like a Sengukaku or a Bihu out there during the winter months, because the bark really contrasts so well against them. Those are other great trees to put out there in the landscape and garden that give you green, yellow, and red bark.
Yeah.
And then this one gives you the orange. I mean, that's so starkly different from many of the other selections with that orange bark. Winter orange is a pretty vigorous growing tree. I mean, we're going to get 12 to 14 inches of growth a year out of this plant. That means you're going to get a plant that's going to be, you know, in 10 years, it could be 10 to 12 feet. And this is a plant that grows fairly rapidly for a Japanese maple, but still gives you some amazing winter interest as well.
Yeah, we really enjoy bringing this content to you guys. You know, every day of the week, we're trying to bring something new and interesting. And, you know, the winter orange is definitely one, I think, that stands apart from a lot of the other coral bark varieties. And so we just had to get it on camera. Plus, we've got these great sizes. So, you know, I encourage you guys out there to get one of these in your garden. It's just a beautiful tree. And everybody who sees that in your garden is going to be like, wow, what is that? It's an amazing.
Yeah, it definitely makes a statement. I mean, in the winter, it gives you that. During the summer, it gives you a very lively feel. A lot of greens are what are traditionally used in the landscape and garden in traditional Japanese gardening.
Yeah.
They give a very lively, summery feel. This will give you some really good yellow fall color. But then when it drops its leaves, that's when this one gets so dramatic. I mean, that's when the leaves are off of this plant and you can really appreciate this bright orange bark out there in the landscape and garden. And we really hope you appreciate this video. I mean, we do a lot of work trying to bring you daily content on the Mr. Maple Show, and winter orange is a Japanese maple you should be growing in your garden.
So take care.
God bless.
Have a great day.